Hi girls, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Karyna. I make motherhood and lifestyle videos every week. So subscribe to don't miss out on a fresh video every Thursday. This video is the beginning of the breastfeeding series on my channel. It will be helpful for expecting moms as well as those who just had a baby. Today I will share how our breastfeeding journey has started, how I launched and kept my lactation while my baby couldn't eat on her own. So first of all, I want to clarify what I just said. Not everybody knows, but Michaela went to Nicu right after I had her. I didn't mention it in my birth story because birth experience itself was truly great. I am proud of myself. I used all the knowledge and did the best I could. And I didn't want to ruin such a positive birth story with what happened next. However, somehow Michaela swallowed a lot of fluid in the process and had troubles breathing on her own. So because of that, we only had a few minutes of skin-to-skin contact. I didn't even have a chance to breastfeed her. Nurses noticed that something is wrong and took her away to help. I won't get into all the details over here because this video is all about breastfeeding. So long story short, for the first 2 days of her life, she wasn't just unable to eat, we didn't even have a skin-to-skin contact. I didn't even hold her, which means less hormones get produced. On top of that, add all the stress I went through. However, I successfully started my lactation. So let me tell you how. You know, I took the breastfeeding course for expecting moms hosted by Ukrainian lactation consultant. In there, she covered all the possible scenarios of your lactation launch, and what happened to Michaela and I was one of them. Although I was so sure that everything will be just okay, that I didn't even try to memorize that part, unfortunately. So if you're currently pregnant, keep watching. More you know, better armed you'll be. And if similar story happened to you and your baby, I'm encouraging you to don't give up. And here is why. First of all, I did it, which means you can too. However, it takes work, commitment, and a lot of love, of course. From the first hours after birth, I was stimulating my breast by gently massaging and doing pumping motions, like hand expressing, to get at least 1 drop of colostrum. In about 14 hours after birth, when I was already discharged from my hospital, I arrived to Nicu in a different town. There they provided me with a pump because I didn't have my own and there was no time to go and buy one. Everybody in Nicu was like, "Were you able to save any colostrum yet?" And I didn't. Nobody in my hospital even asked me about it or offered to use a pump. Hand expressing is not very effective. However, it's definitely better than nothing. The fact that my baby will be allowed to be fed through the tube soon, and if I will not have enough colostrum saved, she will get formula as her first food, got me very much motivated. I started to pump every 3 hours, like my lactation consultant from Nicu recommended. Later that day, I contacted my lactation consultant in Ukraine, and she told me that if I want my milk to come in on time, I must pump every hour with the longest break 2 to 3 hours to get some sleep. And that makes sense, because you have to stimulate your breast as frequent as a newborn would have. Michaela was not able to breastfeed for about 2.5 days, but to me it felt like forever. All I was doing is pumping day and night with some short sleep breaks. For example, let's say I started at 9 a.m., pumped 15 minutes on each side, then write the label, store the milk, wash the parts. By the time it's already 9:30 or more, at 10 I have to start all over again. Luckily, with the pumps I had in Nicu, I could express milk from both sides in the same time. But when I was going to sleep in the room we rented next to the hospital, I had to use this pump. So it took me twice as much time and I barely got any sleep. Nurses in Nicu started to tell me that pumping so often will get my nipples crack, but I knew what I was doing. I just kept on putting nipple cream on and I had no cracks. Thanks to the frequent stimulation, my milk came in on the third day. Everybody was happy and surprised. Although there was something else that helped this happen. I stay strong, which is really hard to do when things don't go as planned, when you cannot hold your baby, when she has all these cords, tubes and IVs. It is hard to don't feel sorry for yourself while you're going through all these aches and pains after having a baby because of bleeding, contractions and stitches, but I didn't break down. I knew that lactation is a hormonal process and staying positive is the key. Plus, your baby feels you. By staying positive, you will let him or her know that everything will be okay. I was able to provide for most of Michaela's feeds. However, she ended up getting formula twice because the doctor prescribed her bigger portions that normally baby would eat. Potentially, I could have avoided her getting formula, but in this case, I wouldn't have gotten any sleep, and eventually it would have decreased my milk supply. If breastfeeding was your goal since the beginning, like it was for me, if you will commit to pumping, if you will stay strong and positive, you will be able to start your lactation and keep your supply regardless of what happens. So don't give up. That's all for today. What happened next in our journey and how I managed to don't get my breast engorged, I will share with you in my next video about breastfeeding. So subscribe to don't miss out on that. I hope this video was helpful. If so, give it thumbs up and thank you for watching. I want to wish health for you and your baby. And I'll see you next week. Bye.